because the police is here to serve and protect. They're serving by not seeing any protection going on.
There's taxpayers out there that are paying them, and it's like these problems still persist, so where's the money going kind of thing?
I felt, they didn't actually say anything racist towards me, I just felt they would talk to me a bit different to their white, my white counterparts.
Leicester is one of the most multicultural cities in the UK. In 2022, it became one of the first UK cities where people who identify as white are no longer the majority. But with black people 8 times more likely to be stopped and searched in Leicester than their white counterparts. And with black Caribbeans' confidence in the police 20% below the national average, for many black people, trust in the police remains low. Isaiah is a 16-year-old basketballer from Rushmead in Leicester.
Not too long ago, I was jumped about around 12 people. I messed up my jaw, and because I got punched obviously, and I went home. My parents took me to the police, took me any document papers and stuff from they need to show the police. Went to the police station now, and they weren't taken as seriously as they should have.
Isaiah had plans of becoming a police officer until 2 years ago, when he began having more negative encounters with the police.
Because this was on a Saturday evening. Sunday, went to church, everything. Monday, after school, I was walking home into going through a park, my local park that I walk to get home. And then a guy that I haven't seen for a while approached me, and I was with my friends obviously. He approached me with the same people that jumped me, trying to stop problems again. And apparently the guy that I haven't seen for a long time, he thinks he's bad. He thinks he's on job. And it turns out he had a knife on him. I don't know if he was planning to use it, but then he did punch me in my face twice, had a big bump here and here. And I went to the police again. They didn't get as much support as I should have. Actually, didn't really get any support at all. And it kind of messed that, it's just too much. Just that I can see people asking for help from the police, and the police do nothing. That's how people die and get stabbed, and because the police is not doing enough to protect the community as they should be. Because the police is here to serve and protect. They're serving by not seeing any protection going on.
Isaiah's case is still open, and no arrests have been made.
I do have many friends that have experienced that, and I have said that the police have been racially motivated towards them. I have seen that happen.
Trayvon Gale is a dancer from London studying psychology at the Montfort University in Leicester. Whilst a supporter of the police, he does believe there are many areas for improvement.
I think an area the police could improve on is, I'd say, knife crime prevention tactics per se. From someone that comes from a ghetto area, I've seen knife crime many times myself personally. I've lost a couple of friends to knife crime. So for me, it's an issue that needs to be resolved. I feel like it's an issue that is quite complicated. From someone that does psychology and also has experience in sociology, there's a lot of underlying factors that can come into play when you're talking about knife crime. But I still think that's no excuse for the police to do less. So I think that governments and politicians should be making more efforts to resolve this problem. I'd say it's almost a pandemic, at least in my opinion, for the black and minority groups within the country. So I would say that knife crime needs to be tackled more. There's a lot of factors, like I said previously, like social factors, mental factors, from a Christian, spiritual factors as well. So it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint an area that they could hone in on to tackle it. I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all solution, but I think the government gets paid enough and you have enough minds. They're literally paid to think about these problems and to have resolutions for those problems.
Statistics from Leicestershire Police show that black people, compared to their white counterparts, are over 5 times more likely to be identified as offenders of knife crime and 2.5 times more likely to be a victim. And their latest figures say that you are 8 times more likely to be stopped and searched as a black person in the city of Leicester. These disparities are similar in the workforce of Leicestershire Police, with over 2,300 officers, with only 14 across all ranks being black.
I'll add this, that this is the original uniform that we wore compared to what you see nowadays.
Ian Harding was one of the first black police officers in Leicestershire.
Back in the day, you can tell that, yes, there was a lot of very, shall we say, serious, hairy sort of circumstances. So they gave us a thing called a truncheon, which is a 12-inch piece of wood, you could say, which is what you carried with you. So there's not CCTV as well to shoot.
Ian retired in 2009 after serving 30 years on the beat and receiving the Chief Constable's commendation for being shot in the line of duty.
I was treated a lot differently because when you walked into the police station, the police officers were shocked to see a young black man walking through with a uniform on. It was very, very strange for them. They felt uncomfortable themselves sometimes, But you had to work with them, or they had to work with me. And to my sergeant and my inspector, I felt, they didn't actually say anything racist towards me. I just felt they would talk to me a bit different to their white, my white counterparts, I got the same treatment from black people being called coconut and, that sort of stuff. I'd had threats as well on my life. But I said, I'm going to get through this. No, nothing's going to stop me. And then I think it was about 10 years later. So I was on my own for about nearly 10 years. Then the next black person came in after 10 years. By that time, there's nothing going to hold me back.
Despite various strategies to build trust in the police by the Leicestershire Police Force, there is still a long way to go.
If any type of weapon is involved, they should take action as soon as possible and not act like it's some not minor thing like stealing or something.
It's kind of a catch-22, at least in my opinion. If the police are more lenient to kind of avoid racial lines, then for me there's a higher chance of people carrying knives and ending lives.
It's down to trust. And when you get trust, you get belief, you get cooperation, you get working together.